Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren, and we all know that we'll be getting rid of artifact weapons eventually. There is a video out on Wowhead showing exactly the cinematic for it. It is spoilery, but I feel like visually it's so cool to look at. I don't really think it's too spoilery because I feel like if you just sit there for 5 minutes and take a few guesses of how we use artifact weapons to get rid or do something about the sword that was thrust into Azeroth by Sargeras, where you thrust his sword without any consent, we will be losing our weapons. Yes, the weapons that you've been running with around, all the different Ashbringers and Doomhammers. And I kind of just want to talk about the system. I guess I'm happy that we are having the system of artifact power rotated because Blizzard is still implementing similar systems with better design implementation into the next expansion. Although I kind of feel like they could have really just ran with the artifact power system because it was an interesting system. After everybody got used to the idea that, oh, we all will have the Ashbringer, and oh, we will all be the hero of Azeroth, a lot of people actually enjoyed the artifact power system. Be honest with yourself, it was kind of cool leveling up a system that had this vanilla-ass talents. You had to choose which talent you wanted. Oh, I'm already classed with a lot of AoE, but I'm starting a single target. Better invest all my AP into single target first, and then cover AoE. Oh, I'm somebody who PvPs, I should probably get defensives first so I can heal a lot more and take less damage. It was a lot of fun stuff, and eventually you would just unlock everything for the weapon. As patches went on, they kept adding more and more to the weapons, changing the specs, and even fixing some specializations like, for example, Outlaw and the orangey mechanic through artifact weapon systems. And it felt pretty rewarding. It's something that you could just do randomly as a player who just had plenty of time and had some crazy farming methods, or if you were a really experienced player that was super good at Mythic Plus or could do your normals, heroics, and Mythic raids with your guild. So players that were better in terms of the game, in terms of skill level, and players that had more time and more commitment could take the advantage of extra AP and farm up a hell of a lot more AP. I thought it was kind of cool. It was of course a system where you could progress forever, but eventually that progression did get boring, and it was one of the systems that did feed into being an alt less friendly game. Of course, Blizzard did as much as they could, and they did, I think, a decent job with catch-up mechanics and allowing us to get more AP, and the research, and the fact that we had to, didn't have to go turn in order hall resources just to increase our research for specific weapons. I think Blizzard did a fair job with most of that in the game, but of course, it wasn't perfect. The AP system is something some people are super happy about, that it's going away. Finally, we can choose what weapons we want. As an Outlaw Rogue, you can actually have 2 fist weapons if you want it. A Frost Death Knight can have an axe and a mace. You can literally choose whatever you want. And Fire Mages finally don't need to have a sword as their weapon, because most mages love staffs anyway. I thought it was an interesting mechanic, and I thought it introduced a lot of cool things to the game. It introduced a lot of awesome weapons that we just didn't know about, like the Staff of Sargeras, all the weapons that talk to you. So if you don't have a friend, now you have this dagger that talks to you. You have all these weapons with different themes, even Outlaw Rogue weapon. Like, there's not a lot of famous pirates, but the weapons we got, oh man, was they cool. And I feel like most people were pretty satisfied with it. As they added new ways of playing the game, they added a plethora of passives, they added a bunch of abilities, like the active abilities, and I feel like they changed the game, I think, for the better. I like the system of talents, like the vanilla-esque talents. I like the constant progression that you can do, whether you PvP or PvE, but eventually the grind and the fact that it was part of the problem of the game being less alt-friendly is honestly what did it for me. With the new system of the new AP, the not artifact power but Azurite points, Blizzard is trying to do away with all the whole AP and too much of grindiness for it, with more of customization. And that's one thing that the artifact weapons did lack. The new system of Azurite power and the neck pieces that we'll have that affect the rest of our gear, in a way it's almost like taking a normal piece of gear and adding your own item set to it, like a tier piece. Since the gear won't have any tier pieces, we'll be able to select which abilities all these different pieces of gear add to us. Maybe they'll make your sprint half the cost, and maybe half duration, so you can use it a lot more often, but it's shorter in duration. Maybe it'll be one of those same legendary effects that you remember from currently running in Legion. Think of a favorite legendary and being able to just choose to slot that effect into a piece of armor. If anything, as long as the Azurite power system doesn't do one of these, one, not alt friendly, as long as it's alt friendly, then I think a lot of people will enjoy it because it'll be kind of like AP that we like and the good parts of it without being, you know, can't play my alts. It's already being alt friendly for specializations where you don't have to commit a ridiculous amount of AP points just for a single specialization. Second, if Azurite points are just not as grindy as AP, they need to be somewhat grindy, because I like the idea of AP, a system where if you dedicate time, or if you're just really damn good at the game and you're damn good at Mythic Plus and you can do a lot of them at high ends, it's a system of reward. I'm fine with that. I like it. The more of it, the better. But when it's just so grindy where it just feels like every day you just gotta go farming and same amount of AP. Next day, even more AP farming. Next one, oh my god, even more AP farming. Kind of like how it was at the very beginning. Like if it was this kind of AP farming system that we have currently, where it's a nice, slow, steady progression system which you can speed up but not necessarily have to, then I think we'll be in a good spot. And there's a little bit of a concern with Azurite points, the fact that it'll be going into our gear, and that Azurite point system is also going to be replacing tier sets. Like when you get your raid tiers, you will no longer have like a 2-piece and a 4-piece tier. Azurite power system is going to be replacing most of your tiers, but it's going to be like customize your own tiers kind of deal. So I'm not sure how that'll work. Hopefully that'll be better. That's another concern that I have. But overall, I guess if somebody were to ask me a question, would you do artifact power again? I'd do it again. Yeah, I thought it was a good system. If maybe they implemented all the new updates they have currently for it, instead of having all the grindiness and all the BS that we had to go through, then I'll be super happy. Maybe if they allowed us to customize our own artifact weapons, like choose what kind of weapon, choose what kind of handle, choose what kind of blade edge, you know, a lot more customization. I think it could be a lot of fun. And keep basically the same format of farming some sort of a point system, and after you're done farming the point system, then now you can finally use your weapon to its full extent and whatnot. I think that could have been a good alternative as well. And I was kind of hoping that they would continue with the artifact power system in the future, but again, maybe Azurite power will replace all of it. So I'll be super happy if that happens. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on artifact power. Let me know in the comments, guys, what are your thoughts on it? Would you want the artifact power system to go away? Or would you want it to stay in the game and you're currently happy with how it is? Let me know all that in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to support my channel, giving videos likes allows them to reach a much wider audience, so that would be very much appreciated if you guys could do that for me. If you enjoy the content and you want to see regular updates for BFA or anything else, be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to catch the live streams, please go ahead and hit the notification bell down below. Tonight we won't have a stream because it is Thursday. It is my day off from streaming, but Friday we'll have 5v5 1v1 duels, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see all of you in another video.